mean, like I said, shout out to you, Shira, and everything that you're doing for the kids and like being there and being like a positive role model. Like there's a lot happening that is very scary. And like I didn't have to work. I don't feel like I ever heard that in school. Like we didn't have drills or anything.
I don't think so.
No.
Like Brain said, tornado drill.
Yeah.
I remember
my
in
school was
high
like, I
school
ain't
we
got it.
had a bomb threat, like in Korea actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
we had to like kind of do drills like that.
Yeah, we had a bomb threat at my school in East Texas, but like
That's wild too.
that is
It
wild.
is.
That
But-
was like in the early
But
2000s.
honestly, kind of expected. So, Shira, my question to you is, how do you know this big-headed Hessian actually?
Big-headed.
Wait a minute.
It's German.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hey, don't
bomb.
talk
I am
about
German. I
that.
was born in Germany.
That's literally why I call her big-headed. But it's the whole thing behind it.
Oh,
Don't talk
Shira used to live in
about that.
Germany as well.
Right, correct. And Ashley's big head, just so everyone knows, it is because she has a lot of knowledge and she's a very smart individual.
Okay.
And I go to her. I go
Look at
to
the backpedaling.
I mean, there's no backpedaling. I literally
Great,
go to
go
her
back.
for a lot of advice. I mean, Ashley know.
Thank you, friend.
She Ashley know what it is. Y'all got offended. She didn't. She know. Ain't that right, big head?
Well, Ashley and I go way back to like first grade. Both of us.
Yeah. You were in
Dad-
first grade. I was in second grade.
Right.
Tell
exactly.
us the story, Shira.
Was she a bully? Me?
No, she was so
No.
good to me.
Me
But
and
our
Shira
dad-
were the nice girls.
Oh.
We were the
nice
preacher's
girls.
daughters.
Yeah, yeah. Our dads were chaplains in the army and
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
good friends, and we
Yeah.
went together and hung out outside of that. I mean, look, I'm an only child, so I loved being at Ashley's house because you know all the siblings, and it was just fun and chaotic, and everything was going on in my house was just always quiet because I was the only one. So I loved being at Ashley's.
Shira learned very quickly. I'll never forget the first time we all like ordered pizza.
Tell
And
me the story.
Shira, and Shira used to eat very, very slow. And she had one piece. And by the time she was done with her first piece, the whole box was gone. It's like, girl, if you with these boys, you got to hurry up and get your slices. We got to eat them.
Right.
I learned that quick. They were like, no, if you want 2 or 3, you need to put that on your plate first.
Exactly.
She basically shared her siblings with me.
I did. But I always thought of you as a sister. People thought we were sisters because we used to dress alike.
We did.
Oh,
Yeah.
On purpose?
On purpose.
Oh.
You didn't tell me that
Oh,
though.
limited to. We went
Limited
there.
to. That was our
Please tell me
story.
y'all had the like 3 little plats. I would love it.
We had plaits, we had overalls, we had it all.
Oh
I
wow.
don't know why I remember the strawberry like tube top or something.
I will never forget the strawberry tube top that we had, and we thought we were hot shit.
I mean, y'all probably were if you thought it.
We were very fashion forward for 7-year-olds.
Oh, so you've been like this for a long time, actually.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
well.
Okay, so Shira, when did Bobby come into the
Yes.
picture?
Let's see if you know these dates.
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
challenge.
Look at this. So Bobby and I met. So I was a teacher, of course, before becoming an assistant principal, and I coached basketball at my middle school. And so Bobby's friend was the boys' basketball coach. And so Bobby would come and help his friend coach. And so I would kind of eye him out at the school, like, okay, I see your friend.
A true love in basketball.
I mean, right. I kind of put the bug in, his friend's ear, like, hey, your friend's kind of cute. I guess he shared that bug with Bobby. And so that's how it started. Bobby and I were, well, the funny thing is the whole season, we never really talked to each other that much. We just kind of looked at each other like, hey, coach, and kept it moving. But it was.
I thought she was in a relationship, so I was just as professional as I could be.
Oh yeah.
Being respectful.
Yeah.
But when I got the word at the end of the season that she made that comment, I'm like, that's all I needed.
Okay, so what did you do when you got the word?
Okay, so all right, so of course I had to play it smooth, wait for the right time. So I think that the following week, I think it was the championship game. And they were I guess recognizing the all conference players.
Yeah.
And so my friend couldn't go. So I was like, man, you know what? I'll go to represent the school. And I got there, sat down, and then like 15 minutes after I sat down, I saw Shira come in and she didn't have no seat. So I made room right beside her, and then I made eye contact, and I was like,
hey, come
through.
Let me write this down because I need some pointers.
Honestly,
I need some
is
pointers.
this how it works? Is that
Yeah, no, I need some pointers because
I just happened to have some room when she walked in, and so
Right.
Oh my goodness.
we talked that throughout the whole game, and I think
we went to dinner after.
Yeah, we went out to dinner, and now we got two kids.
Wait, y'all had 2 kids after that dinner?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not quite. Let's say
Kind of, sort of. I mean,
many years later.
No, y'all there was a little marriage in between that. You know.
What was that, like 2012? And we got married in 2015. And then we had our first child in 2019, our son, who was almost 4. And then our daughter is almost 2. We had her in 2021.
Darrell, let's take notes.
why you gotta call me out on the podcast? I mean, but you're right.
I guess everybody at this table, let's take notes.
Yeah, I mean, y'all's love is really like timeless. Like I really do, and I've told Ashley like separate from this and separate from this, I really love them. Like partly because Bobby, we have the same name. So I don't know if you know. So Shira, I don't know if you know this. My real name is Bobby.
Not your necessarily real. Your
I mean,
first
my
name.
first name. I mean,
Yeah, your
Darrell,
first
Darrell is also my name, but my name is Bobby.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Bobby Darrell.
Bobby Darrell Anthony.
First name Bobby.
We call it.
Last name Anthony.
That's why you're
We
such a
call
good
him Booby.
Yeah, Booby Darrell.
Booby Darrell Anthony.
You started it.
I'm sorry, I know. It's the first name Bobby, last name Anthony.
Shut up. But I also get that. You remember that SNL joke where they were like, Daryl spelled like Darrell spelled like
Oh,
Darryl?
it was that Mad TV. My name is Daryl, but it's spelled like Darrell.
I get that all the time. So, Bobby, what do
Anyways.
people say with your name being Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
How many jokes do you get, and how like horrible has he set you up for success in life?
Did you kill Whitney?
It's the gift.
Great, David.
No, that's valid.
He's not
I
wrong.
think that's a valid question.
Stop.
Bobby Brown set Whitney Houston on the
Hey.
map. Okay.
Anyways, separate conversation.
Okay.
It's the gift and the curse. Of course, when I first started school, like I remember like the first day of school, every year, the teacher would call everybody's name and either call the first name or the last name. And they get to my name, Bobby Brown. And so I got that all my life. And of course, the Whitney jokes. But at the same time, as I got older, when I would apply for a job and things of that nature, if I made a good impression, they would remember Bobby Brown before they remembered some other name. So
Oh, that's interesting.
True.
how to make it work.
Okay, I like that.
always remember his name because it is so
I mean, I
It's
hope
iconic.
you would remember your
Mrs.
husband's
Brown.
name, Shira.
right. So
Is he a good, are you a good dancer?
Yeah, I got moves.
I'll give him that. I'll give him
I
that.
got moves.
I was like, Shira, does he have moves?
she's like, girl, let me text you later.
Right. Okay, so y'all have been married since 2015, and then recently you guys had this incredible story, and we really want to get into that. So walk us through what has happened in the past year.
All right. So I guess let's start in December of 2021. And I made a call to basically get Shira and I an initial visit to get primary care physicians. And so at that time, I didn't have a primary care physician, and because I changed jobs, and the job I had prior to that, which was UPS, we got physicals every year. So I didn't actually have to have a primary care physician. And so I made a career change. And one of the things that I didn't do was get a primary care physician. So I left UPS in August of 2018. And then fast forward to April 2022, when I went to my initial visit to get my primary care physician, they just noticed that my blood pressure was high. And so at that point, they started doing some digging. Back a few weeks later, they noticed some more things, and then they actually sent me to a nephrologist, and that's when I found out that I was in stage 5 renal failure. So basically, my kidneys were working at 10% of what
Oh
they
my
should work.
gosh.
And so I'm not sure how much you guys know about renal failure, but like stage 5 is the last stage. And once you get to that point, there really is no recovering your kidneys. It's pretty much dialysis or kidney transplant from that point.
Right.
Did you have any symptoms, or did this come at like a complete surprise?
None, no symptoms. I know they say one of the major symptoms is headaches, but I mean, I had allergies and I would never get like any migraines or anything like that. So anytime I got a headache, I thought it was my allergies or my sinus.
Right.
Out of that, like, being super fatigued, ankle swelling, loss of appetite, all that stuff, I had nothing. And that's why they call it the silent killer, because I mean, I had no symptoms, none.
Bobby, like, question to you as like one Black man to another, did you feel like you didn't want to go to the doctor like at first? Like, because I mean, honestly, as Black men, we are told like not to go to the doctor, suck it up and deal with that. How did you like get through that situation in terms of like going to the doctor?
Honestly, I think I was just spoiled by working at UPS, man. I started working at UPS when I was a junior in college, like 2004. And so having that physical every year through the company, it just spoiled me. So I'd never been through the process of having to get a primary care physician. And then right before I left UPS in the summer of 2018, I had just gotten a physical. So I knew from that point on I was good. So I was like, I'll make sure I get a primary care physician, but I just never did it. And so, that just goes to show you, man, how quick things can happen.
Absolutely.
And when did you tell Shira?
So when I went to an appointment in April of 2022, and that was the one that when I found out that it was pretty serious, he was like, well, on the next appointment, I want your wife to come. And so, of course, when I made that call to Shira, she had a ton of questions. And Ashley, you know how Shira is. She got to have.
Yes. I know you need a dissertation.
Exactly. So she came.
So
I'm sure the first word she said was, "What you mean like that?"
I mean, but seriously, they're like, it was really hard to ask about having symptoms. I think so one of the symptoms is fatigue, but honestly, we had 2 little kids. Like, I'm always tired. We're always tired. Like a big symptom, like it wasn't obvious. So when he had high blood pressure, we dealt with that. We're like, okay, you'll be on medicine. We're going with that. But then that led to the nephrologist and learning you're in kidney failure. So I am the person that likes details and what's going on. And so when I hear renal failure, my context clues kind of come in. I'm like, that doesn't sound good. But he came home with this folder that explained everything about chronic kidney disease and the stages and visuals and dialysis and I'm like, huh? So that's what the doctor said. Bring your wife to the next appointment, and it was a lot to process, honestly.
It was.
Yeah.
Did you ever have the question of what caused it?
So so when you have high blood pressure, one of the things that it can affect is your kidneys. And so I guess my blood pressure had been high for a period of time, and over the period of time, it just wore my kidneys down.
Oh my gosh.
If that's your doctor, you can take it.
It is our mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay, don't take it.
No.
Take a sip. Take a sip.
I love it.
Okay, so you guys got the news. What were the next steps, and when did you know, like, I need a transplant?
Well, that didn't come into play until later. But so basically, the options for us were basically going to be, the short-term option was going to be dialysis.
Yeah.
Long-term would be kidney transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, we just went through the process of going to the doctor, and I was going pretty much once a month, and they would monitor me, see where I was at, and my numbers didn't get any worse. but they weren't getting any better either. They were just staying the same. So that's pretty much how it was from May until like September.
Right. And I could just jump in and say that, like you're saying, keeping your kidney function at 10% without doing anything, like without doing dialysis, could have the potential to be dangerous because your kidneys, a lot of people think of kidneys filtering waste, but it also controls a lot of, what is it, like your blood flow and maintains your nutrition. And so your potassium level was really high, and with potassium level being high, that could impact your heart, possibly lead to heart attacks. So they didn't want him to just stay at 10% kidney failure because like it could just end up bad overnight, even though we're thankful he didn't have a lot of symptoms. I mean, we're thankful for that, that he didn't feel sick. It could have gotten really bad. So that's where that conversation started with dialysis. And they sent us to a dialysis education class to learn about the different types of dialysis and treatments for chronic kidney disease. And in that class is where they also talked about kidney transplant and just, having a better quality of life with kidney transplant. So we knew we would try that route. We thought he would have to be on dialysis, but thankfully he did not. I don't know if you want to jump in on there.
So kind of go back a little bit. So even before the diagnosis, the reason why I caught us off guard so much was for the simple fact that like I was doing everything I normally do. Riding my bike like 30 miles a week in the yard with my son. I mean, just Shira would fall asleep before me. I mean, no one ever would have known that I had that issue because I mean, I was still doing everything that I normally do. And so to fast forward, I was very intimidated when it came to dialysis, very intimidated. And then the crazy thing about it was it got to a point in August to where it was like, all right, I'm gonna have to go on dialysis. My doctors recommended it. Everybody on our team on the medical side recommended it. And so I prayed about it and I just made my peace with it. I really just made my peace with it. Like, hey, this is the next step for me to get to where I need to be. And so I made peace with it. And the crazy thing is, man, I was supposed to have an outpatient surgery on September the 12th to get the catheter placed in my abdomen to start the process of dialysis. And so the Thursday before that, because September 12th was a Tuesday, I think like the Thursday before that, Shira calls me at work and says, hey, I just got a call. And as of right now, I'm a match to be a donor. I'm like, wow.
So
do they always test the spouse like right away?
No.
Or did you have to ask?
Yeah, I asked. So really, I mean, I was in a unique position being where I went with Bobby to the transplant center as his support person, as his wife, and learning about like trying to get him on the transplant list. So that was how we started that process, going to the transplant center to get on the list. But with his blood type, they said the average wait for a kidney from a deceased donor is like 6.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So you have to go through that process to even get on the deceased donor list. And in that time, you can try to get a kidney from a living donor. So, they talk about, especially with his age, I mean, at that time you were 38 years old, like with his age, the benefits of getting a kidney from a living donor, usually it's a, better quality kidney. Right. They usually last longer. And so that's something, especially because of his young age, that we wanted to look at. So we started reaching out to family members, to start that process of, can you be a donor? Because it is a long process. We'll start that.
Yeah. How do you go about asking?
Well, your question. I just want to make a statement.
The great thing about that is, so every year in July, we go to Delaware. My grandmother's birthday is on July the 4th, and so last year for her 91st birthday, we went up there, and of course the entire family is there. It's like a family reunion, and so as everybody was going up to talk about my grandmother, my mother went up there, and she told the whole family, which some of them knew, but to be able to tell the whole entire family at one setting, it was different. I guess it meant a little more. And then as far as like our friends, we had a big game night one night, and like halfway through the game night, we just kind of stopped everybody and told everybody what was going on, and you know, do to help. And it was a little awkward too, but I mean, everybody recepted it well, man, and did everything good.
Bobby, were you ashamed or embarrassed in any way? And I asked that question because I had bladder cancer, and I was a little, I don't know, I felt inferior. So what was your experience when you heard the news?
Yeah, there is a little awkwardness there, and you do feel like, man, I should have done this or I should have done that. But that's the trap, man. You can't focus on what happened. You have to stay locked in on moving forward, and you know what's the next step for me to get better. And it's tough, man, because I tell people the hardest thing for me when I initially found out was that time from when I would lay my head down on my pillow until I fell asleep, because at that point, all you can do is just let your mind wander. You know what I mean? During the day, you can stay busy, you know, and stay focused on different things and not think about it. But gosh, man, that time when you first get into bed is tough, man, because you just start, you start thinking, the next thing you know, you're in a rabbit hole. And so, it was a little bit of feeling like that, man. But I really had to condition myself to stay focused, because I mean, it's one of those things that could have consumed me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So where are we now today?
Well,
so as of today, we're like 4.5 months post kidney transplant.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Had the transplant on November 15th of 2022.
Yeah.
How was that?
That's so crazy.
How was that preparing for that as a couple with two young kids? Like, how did you navigate that? Did you guys like, I mean, sorry to get morbid, like update your will and like do all this stuff, like, you know, both of y'all going into surgery, major surgery?
Because Shira, you ended up giving your kidney to Bobby.
Kidney. So I know we did go on that. I mean, I started the process to figure out if I could be a donor because, like, of course, as my husband, I'm going to try. I really didn't think in a million years that I would ever be a match, because of course I thought it would be a blood family member. So actually, his family members who tried, none of them were matches. None of them were able to donate. So to find out I was a match, and then I was actually healthy enough to donate one, because they do a lot of health tests too to make sure that I'm healthy enough to live with one kidney. Once I found out it was me, the complete match, it was such a mixed feeling. I was like so excited and surreal, like, oh my gosh, I'll be able to give this gift of life to my husband, which impacts me, my kids, like his family, everybody.
And also control him for the rest of his life.
Right. Yeah. You can't ever tell me
that was the actual master plan.
Because literally you are the reason he is living.
But it was a lot to think about. I'm like, both of us going through a major surgery at the same time with two kids that have to be picked up. Like, we weren't able to lift over 10 pounds. So just my first mind got rolling. I know it's weird, but I wasn't as worried about the surgery. I kind of had a peace about that, like knowing, okay, I can give my kidney, it's going to be fine. I was trying to get everything situated with the kids and making sure that we had, like my parents, his parents, people here to watch them. But we did like update our will. What else did we?
I cried the opening of it.
Attorney. You have to get all that just because you hope nothing goes wrong. You pray nothing goes wrong, but you do want to be prepared for that. So
definitely more of the prepare. So like, she actually printed out calendars and had who's coming, what week, and this and that. I mean, to the T. I'm talking about 6 weeks out post surgery. For me, I have such a huge family. I just called everybody. I was like, hey, we're gonna need y'all help after November 15th. Help. We'll figure it out,
And I was like, I need to know the days. And
Yeah.
It's gonna be
No, that's true. Because like everyone could be like, oh, I thought so and so was showing up.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you.
No. It was a good thing. It was a good thing.
We're
definitely.
a team. We're a team.
Yeah.
I am so inspired by you guys. Like,
Daryl can't handle it.
I can't handle anything. I actually can't handle anything. And Bobby, I want to go back to when you said 38. Like, Black don't ever crack. You look fantastic, both of you do, and like
This is a podcast,
but to be there like for y'all's kids and everything.
Oh, Darrell.
Oh.
Oh,
So sweet. Come on.
You need a tissue.
It's because they have the same name.
No.
I know, yeah.
Okay, so what does life look like now post surgery, and like how has your like lifestyle changed, and how do you guys feel?
We both feel amazing. As far as lifestyle change, our diet is completely different, man. One of the biggest things that we monitor now is just is sodium. And so I know that's
like kryptonite.
Yeah. That's
black people's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about it. Like,
I like sodium too.
100%. It's bad. Look at us.
We just hold on to African Americans. We just hold on to sodium a lot more than other races, especially once we get to our 30s. And so I'm like the poster boy for it. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just one of those things. It just is what it is. But we both feel good. I'm as active as ever. Shira is. I mean, our kids are always bouncing off the walls. And as far as like any restrictions or anything, right now, I just have pretty much health and safety restrictions. So I'm not supposed to I'm not supposed to eat out right now at restaurants. And not that I can't eat the food. It's just the fact that I'm taking, one of the meds that I'm taking is a immune suppressant med. They have to suppress my immune system somewhat for my body to fully accept the new kidney, because it's a foreign object. If I didn't have those meds, my body
would reject it.
Exactly. So I have to take that. So with that, I just have to be careful about germs and things of that nature. But I mean, outside of that, it's really just the sodium. And I guess the silver lining of it is too, like now we have our kids eating low sodium. You know what I mean? That whole life. So they don't know much different. And to be honest with you, if that means our kids are gonna have a better life, I'd go through a kidney transplant 4 or 5 times over, man. Because really, at the end of the day,
I don't know about all that, but
that's a little much. But with them being my kids and having my bloodline, it's probably a greater chance that they will have high blood pressure or something like that too. So for them to start off eating well, that means the world to me.
Yeah.
We monitor food a lot. We were big Costco people, which we still love Costco, but we would get some of those frozen meals that just quick and easy and pop in.
No.
So Shira, are you not gonna make a sweet potato pie for me anymore? I just want to.
I can make a sweet potato pie. I got you.
All right. That's what I want to know. That's my big question, because that was delicious. We actually were talking about that Thanksgiving earlier.
Right.
It was when your mom and Ashley's mom said, "Y'all ain't nothing."
All right. Your mom is Miss Ratliff.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome, Braden.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm here.
Reverend Ratliff and Benita was like, "Y'all ain't slick."
Just these Christian women, the most Christian women hanging out with Pride.
But let's put it on Ashley, because she made those drinks.
I did make those drinks.
Wait,
and they were really strong.
You know what? I also think that was the weekend that Ashley's mom started asking everybody to come to your birthday.
No.
That was other trash that happened. But we participate in all. Listen, you guys are an inspiration, and like I did get choked up, because I just think it's so amazing that you both came through, not just for each other, but for your children,
and also sharing the story.
Yes,
it's so important.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I would say that I want like anyone to get out of this is, we're both in our 30s. We think we're young. Overall, we're healthy. Like, we'll go to the doctors. No big deal. Like, we weren't scared of doctors. It's just throughout your life, you're like, I'll go at some point. You just didn't think about it. But to just really get your yearly blood work.
Yeah.
Just so they can monitor anything. I mean, because one thing that really stuck with me that the doctor said is that, you know, his was probably caused by high blood pressure, but they said him just being a Black male is a risk factor alone for chronic kidney disease. So like just the way you were born, you're at risk for chronic kidney disease. So to just go to the doctor, get your blood work once a year, and people can monitor it. So that helps find out, like, you know, like we did when it's critical and too late. That's what I would tell anybody.
And I
mean, a lot of
amen.
I actually want to challenge everybody to something. So write this number down, 2,300.
Okay.
2,300, right? The average person should intake 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, 2,300. So for the next week, as you're eating your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, take a few days and add your numbers up, just so you can get a feel for how far you're over, how far you're under, or where you're at. And just remember that number, 2,300. And I think just that alone can actually change somebody's perception. Because as we talked about Costco, right? We love to go to Costco, get the quick meals. And after all of this, and like the first time we go back to Costco, we see some of those same meals that we, you know, love to eat. And the sodium per serving is like 1,400, 1,500 milligrams. And it's like, whoa.
One serving.
So by lunch, you know, most people are pretty much exceeding that 2,300. But just take a week to monitor it and you know, see how you feel about it.
Amen to that.
We definitely need that. And I think as Black people, we, like, when I went home for Christmas, like when I was with my family, I was telling Ashley the other day, I'm like, there's so much butter and salt and sugar y'all put in everything. And they were like, you've been eating it all your life. And I was like, yeah, but like, it's not right. Like it doesn't make
unlearn.
We have to unlearn things.
You know, that's how we all grew up.
I tell my mom about that. I tell my mom about that when it comes to vodka. Before we let you guys go, can you just tell us, like, what does pride mean to you guys?
It, to me, just means loving everyone for who you are.
It just means accepting everybody. And at the end of the day, you know, regardless of anybody's preference, it's about respect. If you show respect, you should give respect, and vice versa.
Very well said.
Star, you found it. You found a king. I always get emotional when Black men especially are so loving and open to the LGBTQ community
on our side,
because it's tough. And like, I appreciate you, Bobby, my twin Bobby.
Good Bobby Brown.
Another Bobby. I can't wait till you get here, Bobby, so we can turn up. So
we might come in. We might be there in July, possibly.
Not a Pride exclusive. July, get ready.
A Pride exclusive.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Y'all can stay with us and we can like do this.
Okay. Just make sure y'all keep that same energy y'all got tonight.
Bitch, that energy don't go nowhere.
It's not going nowhere. You just know what liquor you like and we got it.
Kidney function here, so you know.
Right. We got water.
In moderation.
The best water. Sure.
I believe in an excess of everything except for moderation, but I got you. Right? I got you.
Shira, Bobby, you guys are an inspiration. Yay. You're power couple, and now everybody's new favorite power couple. And we love you guys here at Pride the Podcast. And your story is amazing. And I hope that it inspires people out there to check themselves out. And I wish the best for you guys and your family.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Yes.
Oh.
She said y'all can't find
she's the assistant principal, so right. Keep it cute,
but it's wholesome. It's wholesome.
I am on Facebook as Shira Bobby Brown,
and I'm of course Bobby Brown on Facebook, and on IG I think it's B Brown IG.
Okay, we love that.
He had to do that because the other Bobby Brown got
was
that taken.
Right,
I gotta
right.
make sure there's separation.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you joining us, and we cannot wait. Next time you guys come back and like talk hot topics. Let's have fun.
Yeah, sounds
more
good.
fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.